Kelly got started very early in the business with me when he was just a young man, and they couldn't really hire him to do a job. He would go in the stores and walk around and talk to people. He would go in after school, and back in those days when he first started, it was sorting the old real glass bottles. But he didn't just limit himself to doing that task. He got around and he worked a little bit in produce. When he was still in high school, he went to work in a meat department, got acquainted with meat, different cuts of meat. He learned to do all those things. He just was hungry to learn, and he enjoyed it. But most of all, he just enjoyed the people that he was working with.
My dad was just a hard worker. That's when it really comes down to it. He had a fantastic work ethic. That's probably one of the things my dad really pounded into me as a kid is just, you've got to work hard. If you want to get somewhere in life, you got to wake up early and get after it.
We just happened to find a little store in Garland, Utah. Kelly was single at that time and wanted to stay in the business, so we discussed it, and I said, Kelly, we're going to go buy the store, and it's yours. It's a one-man operation with 2 or 3 helpers. He looked at me and said, hey, that's okay, I can do that. He was extremely successful in Garland. He moved up there and lived in the area and joined the volunteer fire department. So he became very involved in the community. He learned how important the customer was and how to treat them. Kelly would go work with the farmers up there and the ranchers.
Kelly made great relationships with those types of people. He would go out and work for these ranchers and stuff, and they'd help him out. And so we built this strong reputation of being friendly to the farming community and friendly to the ranching community. And we've had those relationships with those customers that have lasted 30 plus years. And you know, he was just customer service oriented. He always said, take care of the customer no matter what.
Anybody that was ever involved in business or in any type of project with my dad, they would always come out ahead. If something didn't go well, my dad would take the loss. You know, he would kind of absorb that, and I think it was important to him, and he cared enough about all the people working for him, he wouldn't let them get hurt.
Kelly was always willing to go above and beyond to help somebody out. If it was a customer and a customer wanted a certain item, he would do anything. He would drive anywhere to go get that item for the customer.
It wasn't unusual for Kelly to be up half the night searching for things that people needed so he could get it to them. He had no sense of the clock, but if he found out somebody needed something, he would find it for them. He didn't take any pay for it, but they remember Kelly as just somebody that loved to serve people.
You just never knew what to expect when Kelly was in the store.
Oh, Kelly was always pulling practical jokes on people. Almost every single time he would come in the store, he would go around, and if you were drinking a pop of any kind, he would pop a hole in it. And then when you would go to drink it, it would spill down the front of your shirt. And he would watch the video camera later to get a chuckle out of it.
He was such a fun-loving guy, and he'd always joke with us and you know, get you to smile. And I just miss that. I miss his friendship a lot.
As a young man, he liked to go camp out in the hills. He loved the mountains, loved to hike. He loved nature.
Kelly loved hunting. He loved the outdoors. He loved more than just the hunting end of it. He loved the preparing for it. It all meant something to him. He really went overboard to make sure that it was a fun, neat experience. So when we got done years later, you probably didn't really remember what the hunt was about, but you remember having a good time and the adventure that it was.
From his youth all the way till he died of cancer, he was always considerate, and he had a special compassion for older people. He loved doing service work when he would stop at older people's houses, help them do their yard work. And if any of his associates, if they needed him for anything, they could call on him.
As far as us as employees, he was like a second dad or a big brother to me. He was willing to do anything. He would take you anywhere you needed to go. You always felt like he was there for you.
And he was very aware of what was going on in your life, and not just ask questions, but was very concerned and would do anything under the sun to help you and make sure that you were having a happier, better life. He was a loving, caring person.
Everybody is treated like family, and so we feel very fortunate that he was able to give us that kind of an upbringing, so to speak, as we grew in the company, to keep that going. Even though Kelly's not with us anymore, we still treat everybody like family. It's not a business, it's a family.
I was always proud to be his father. I was proud of his actions, just the kind of person that he was. Jerry and I were both fortunate to have Kelly in our family, in our presence. The many trips we took as a family. Kelly was a big contributor of the good times we had. He was one of the most selfless individuals that I've ever known. And I've always been so proud to call him my son.